the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
All of that, it has been appalling. And what's appalling especially is Jordan Poole. I haven't had a player with that combination of talent, and I should use the right word. It's not combination, it's mismatch. His natural basketball ability, his talent, especially as a scorer, is near elite. And he might be, and I want to be very careful of how I say this, from a hoops IQ perspective, from a pure basketball intelligence perspective, one of the dumbest basketball players I've encountered. And I've had a lot over my 50 years of being a Wizards fan, a Bullets fan, then a Wizards fan. We've had a lot of characters over the years, a lot of guys who seem like they might never get it. I mean, we had Nick Young here. We had my big guy. Why is his name not
Kwame Brown?
No. Well, Kwame was blessed with skill, but just didn't have any interest in playing basketball. I'll think of it in a minute. He's still in the league, the center that I'm thinking of. We acquired him we traded him to Denver.
I know who you're this is going to drive me nuts.
He was on Dallas for last season. I just don't know why I can't.
JaVale McGee.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, JaVale McGee. Yeah.
Yes, right. Anyway, so lots of characters over the years, lots of guys. We had Jordan Crawford here for a minute. Speaking of notorious chuckers, guys not afraid to.
Not a lot of Antoine Jamesons anymore. We got to get some more Antoine Jamesons in Washington.
You're right. Yes, for sure. But the Poole thing, part of the problem is the team itself, I think, made an error in judgment. He's the guy that they gave the microphone at the first home game to welcome everybody and say, we're really looking forward to a season here. So they conveyed to him that he was some kind of leader, that he had some kind of leadership role. And all he is the leader in the clubhouse for most appearances on Shaqtin' the Fool. He's a Shaqtin' the Fool Hall of Famer. I mean, from intentional and unintended, play and approach to the game. I mean, just the game you mentioned, the off balance, falling away three with a chance to cut into a deficit, a game that the Wizards competed very well. We're talking about the Phoenix Suns over the most recent weekend. They were really in that game. That game also featured him for somehow slipping out of the blue. Now, maybe there was moisture on the floor. I don't know, but a banana peel kind of slip. Yeah. And immediately that goes viral alongside the crazy shot, the circus shot that you wouldn't even really countenance in a G League game for the combination of ill-conceived and ill timing and ill execution. It was an 0 for 3 there, Chase.
It's just, I didn't think they would be this bad. Like, I thought the Pistons were going to be bad. I thought the Wizards would be a play-in adjacent team. Because they also are sneaky kind of old. This Wizards team is not young. You got Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Denny has been here for a while. Kuzma's obviously older. Gafford's been in the league a while. Dylan Wright, who I love and miss every year in Atlanta, will always love that guy. You're not the youngest team. You've got Gallinari. Obviously Bilal is coming into his own, and he's a rookie. But it's a roster where you're there was some Hornets to it, where you were just there's just too many older dudes, and older teams, generally speaking, win more than these younger teams. And I thought they were going to play a heavy rotation with older guys. So I just didn't think they could be near the bottom of the East, but this is a near the bottom of the East type deal.
Well, the biggest reason, the biggest factor, if you look at their third worst in the NBA in terms of net differential, and the reason for that is defense. And what I mean by defense is absolutely no defense.
Well, we're in the same boat there, Joe.
Yes. Well, except for Wizards are in a whole different class, buddy. They are the Pacers give up 127 points a game. The Wizards are right behind them at 126.8 or 9, some crazy number. Absolutely. In the last 6 minutes of every single game, a close game can go from a bucket or two to 12 to 15 points like that. And that's the thing that really, as a person that appreciates, I just want them to compete. And their inability to compete over that last handful of minutes in regular season NBA games is galling. I don't mind them losing. I want them to compete, and they can't compete because they just can't play defense at the end. The only player, they have two players capable, Gafford and Koulibaly, and Koulibaly's too young. You know, he's in the rotation now. He's getting minutes, and Gafford can't stay on the floor because it's easy to get him into foul trouble. And he's got a little bit of injury. But when he plays, he had a great game, Gafford, against Phoenix. Speaking of, he was the reason that they were competitive. But yeah, it's a sad story over here.
Final thing on the Wizards. This is always something I wonder about because you're more plugged in, and when you're on the outside and you just trying to, when people want to blow it up with organizations and look like the Falcons, it's just rough all around for Atlanta sports fans right now, Joe. But like, I am curious when you dig a little bit deeper and someone more in the know of what this Wizard ownership group is and everything else that goes into the Washington Wizards. Do you think this is the right ownership, GM, coach combination to lead you through this rebuild? Because it's fun to say like, hey, we'll blow it up and we'll start from scratch. We'll draft this guy and then we'll be there and competing again in 2 to 3 years, this, that, and the other. I'm sure the Pistons thought they were going to do that. Charlotte thought.
Go. Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.